Hi everyone, this is Dr. Akila Rani, Professor, Department of CSE, BBC Institute of Technology and Science, Amlapuram. Now I am going to give a video lecture on Introduction to Dimensionality Reduction in Machine Learning. Dimensionality reduction is simply the process of reducing the dimension of your feature set. Dimension of a feature set is equal to the number of features in your data set, which is how many number of columns in your data set having. Your data set will have rows and columns. Here we have to take how many number of columns present in your data set in order to find a dimension of your feature set. Your feature set could be a data set with 100 columns, that is features, or it could be an array of points that make up a large sphere in the three-dimensional space. Dimensionality reduction is bringing the number of columns down to say 20 or 30, or converting the sphere to a circle in a two-dimensional space. The curse of dimensionality refers to all the problems that arise when working with data in a higher dimensions that does not exist in a lower dimension. As the number of feature increases, the number of samples also increases proportionally. The more the features we have, the more the number of samples we will need to have all combinations of feature values well represented in our sample. As the number of features increases, the model becomes more complex. The more the number of features, the more the chances of overfitting. A machine learning model that is trained on a large number of features get increasingly dependent on the data it was trained on, and in turn overfitted, resulting in poor performance of real data. Avoiding overfitting is a major motivation for performing dimensionality reduction. The fewer features our training data has, the lesser assumptions our model makes, and the simpler it will be. In machine learning classification problems, there are often too many factors on the basis of which the final classification is done. These factors are basically variables called features. The higher the number of features, the harder it gets to visualize the training set and then work on it. Sometimes most of these features are correlated and hence redundant. This is where dimensionality reduction algorithm come into play. Dimensionality reduction is the process of reducing the number of random variables under consideration by obtaining a set of principal variables. That is the number of dimensions or number of features. It can be divided into feature selection and feature extraction. Before starting the explanation, we should know the answer for the question, why the dimensionality reduction important in machine learning? An intuitive example of dimensionality reduction can be discussed through a simple email classification problem where we need to classify whether the email is spam or not. This can involve a large number of features such as whether or not email has a generic title, the content of the email, whether the email uses the template, etc. However, some of these features may overlap. In another condition, a classification problem that relies on both humidity and rainfall can be collapsed into just one underlying feature. Since both of aforementioned are correlated to a high degree, hence we can reduce the number of features in such problems. A three-dimensional classification problem can be harder to visualize, whereas a two-dimensional one can be mapped to a simple two-dimensional space and a one-dimensional problem to a simple line. The next figure illustrates this concept where three-dimensional space is split into two one-dimensional feature spaces, and later If found to be correlated, the number of features can be reduced even further. Dimensionality reduction has a lot more advantages to offer, like less misleading data means model accuracy improves. Less dimensions means less computing. Less data means that algorithm train faster. Less data means less storage space required. Less dimensions allow usage of algorithms unfit for a large number of dimensions, and it removes redundant features and noise. When coming to disadvantage of dimensionality reduction, it may lead to some amount of data loss. PCA, that is principal component analysis, which is one of the method used in the dimensionality reduction, tends to find linear correlations between variables, which is sometimes undesirable. PCA fails in cases where mean and covariance are not enough to define data sets. Why? Because this PCA algorithm having some of the steps which depends upon this mean and covariance values. We may not know how many principal components to keep in practice, that is how many number of dimensions we need to keep. Some thumb rules are applied. There are two components of dimensionality reduction, that is feature selection and feature extraction. Let me discuss about feature selection first. In this, we try to find a subset of the original set of variables or features to get a smaller subset which can be used to model the problem. It usually involves three ways: filter, wrapper and embedded. We can use any one of these three ways to apply this feature selection. There are a lot of tools we could employ to avoid our feature selection. One of the examples is heat maps. Heat maps that show the correlation between features is a good idea. So it's just visualizing the relationship between the features and their target variables by plotting each feature against the target variable. Here feature is the input what we are giving a input to the machine learning, and target variable which is the output we are getting from the machine learning. And feature extraction reduces the data in a high dimensional space to a lower dimensional space, that is a space with a lesser number of dimensions. The various methods used for dimensionality reduction includes principal component analysis (PCA), linear discriminant analysis (LDA), and generalized discriminant analysis (GDA). Dimensionality reduction may be both linear or non-linear depending upon the method used. The prime linear method called principal component analysis or PCA is going to discuss next. Principal component analysis method was introduced by Culberson. It works on a condition that while the data in the higher dimensional space is mapped to a lower dimensional space, the variance of the data in the lower dimensional space should be maximum. It involves following steps. Step 1, construct the covariance matrix of the data. Step 2, compute the eigenvectors of this matrix. Step 3, eigenvectors corresponding to the largest eigenvalues are used to reconstruct a large fraction of variance of the original data. Here the number of eigenvalues and eigenvectors depends upon how many number of features we are taking from the original data set. For example, if we choose 4 features from the original data set, then it will generate 4 eigenvalues and 4 eigenvectors. And finally we have to choose the largest eigenvalues in the last step. These 4 features will project entire features present in the original data set. Hence, we are left with the lesser number of eigenvectors, and there might have been some data loss in the process, but the most important variances should be retained by the remaining eigenvectors. Thanks for watching.